Bienvenidos to Pica Poco Kitchen. Today we're making enchiladas suizas. Swiss enchiladas. Vámonos! Enchiladas suizas are as Swiss as French fries are French. Is one of those. They were actually born in Mexico City in the late 19th century by the European cook of Emperor Maximilian of Habsburg. He tried to adapt the traditional salsas and make them milder for the wider palate of the emperor by adding cream and cheese. After the fall of Maximilian, this cook opened a restaurant, the Imperial Cafe, who was later bought by the Sanborns, two brothers from California, who adapted the restaurant and turned it also into a drugstore, gift shop slash restaurant cafe, and they kept a lot of the original recipes, including enchiladas suizas. It is thought that they get this name Swiss enchiladas because of the melted cheese on top resembling the Swiss Alps. And sure, why not? The Sanborns restaurant popularized this dish. They were later bought by different people and companies. They opened many locations, and today it's a chain owned by one of the richest magnates of Mexico, but that's a different story. Next time you visit Mexico City, don't forget to stop by the original location, which is in downtown Mexico City. Today known as La Casa de los Azulejos, or the House of Tiles, because its exterior is covered with beautiful Pueblan Talavera tiles. And it is not just a house, but an actual 18th century palace. It has beautiful architecture and it houses two important pieces of art, one being a mural by Mexican Clemente Orozco, none other, and a beautiful painting by Romanian artist Jan de Palologu. Enchiladas suizas is a very simple recipe that now has different versions and everybody has their own recipe, so I'm sharing with you mine so you can make them at home. Let's go! We're gonna start with 15 ounces of tomatillos and 2 serrano peppers. You're not seeing wrong. I am giving you the updated improved version. I'll talk about it at the end of the video. We're gonna cover them with water and take it to the stove to cook. You're gonna cook it around for 10 minutes until the tomatillos change color, but before their skin burst. Something like this. We're gonna set that aside and continue with the salsa. Now with the rest of our ingredients roughly chopped, we're gonna add all of our tomatillos and serrano peppers into the food processor. To that, we're gonna add half an onion, or like in my case, one small onion, one handful of cilantro, and you'll be tempted to remove the seeds of an extra serrano pepper, but don't do that. Add it with the seeds on. In fact, you can add two. And watch out, I'm coming for your eyes. No, I'm just kidding. Please don't touch your eyes. I also added an invisible garlic clove. You add a real one. Don't forget to season, and let's blend. I have 2 tablespoons of oil heating in a pan, and to that I'm gonna add the salsa that I just blended and take it to a simmer. At that point, we're gonna add between 1/4 of a cup and half a cup of heavy cream. Forget what you're seeing, I'm adjusting again. Since our sauce is acidic, I'm using heavy cream because it's higher in fat so it won't curdle. Other substitutions could be creme fraiche or sour cream. To assemble the enchiladas, we're gonna need an oven-proof baking dish or shredded chicken and warm tortillas. Since I was making a few, I was looking like crazy for my smaller container, only to realize that I had the chicken in it. I made my tortillas earlier and kept them wrapped in a kitchen towel to maintain the humidity and their warmth. That way my tortillas are flexible and I know when I roll them up, they're not gonna break. And once you have everything ready, the assembling is easy peasy. We're just gonna take some of this chicken, a good amount, and roll it in our tortilla. I apologize for doing this so off frame. I kept watching to see if one was in, but the more I made, the more off frame they were. But I'm pretty sure you get it. We're gonna add a light layer of sauce at the bottom of our oven-safe dish, and then we're gonna place the taquitos in a row on top of it. Once we have them ready, then we're gonna cover them in our sauce.
And as you can see, for what I have left over, you have enough for a small party. And now it's time for the cheese. I decided to go half and half. In one half, I'm using shredded mozzarella, and on the other half, because I love Gouda and I have a nice wedge, I decided to add very thick slices to the other side, which didn't end up that great. Gouda is also a little bit less aggressive to my slightly lacto-intolerant self. Now we're gonna take our dish and put it under the broiler in our oven. Mine was set to high and it was ready in 10 minutes. Here you can see how the thick slice just melted without gaining any nice color. So I'd say stay with mozzarella. Serve with refried beans and just like me, as if you hadn't had already covered your intake of cheese, add some queso fresco on top of those beans.
And here we have them. Before I tell you what the hell am I wearing, I need to be honest with you. I went back and fixed my salsa. It was way too white, not pun intended, and not spicy enough. So I went back, made more tomatillo and serrano salsa, and fixed the original one. I have already changed that for the video that you just watched and in the ingredients in the box below, so you don't have to worry about it. And also, this is the second batch, obviously. Even though I love Gouda, I think the best cheese for these kind of enchiladas is a milder one, a meltier one, so mozzarella or chihuahua will do. So here we go. Oh yes, and what am I wearing? So another piece of art hidden in this classic restaurant are the ladies that serve the place. They are not just beautiful themselves, but they also are wearing a very classic uniform. And this is a makeshift of the top piece that they wear. I highly suggest you go up and look for the waitress of Sanborn's restaurant and you'll understand what this all is. So, let's give them a try. I'm gonna take this off because I don't want a lot of crinkling in the mic and I need to bite on them. Now we're ready? And here we go. And now you can adapt your recipe if you're not too much into spiciness. Hang on the cream and cheese and you'll get just a hint of the heat but a lot of flavor. If you, like me, want it spicier, definitely hold on the cream and go on for your serranos because that's where the heat comes from. I hope you enjoyed this recipe just like this video, and if you did, please share it with your friends. Like, subscribe, and be notified. And for more, follow me on the socials. Adios, amigues.